Hello everyone, Rider Rated 18 coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I'm not going to be reviewing any discs, I'm just going to give you some recommendations, and I thought I'd give you 6 recommendations for 4K. Now 4K is a format that I recently got into. It was around sort of mid-November 2024. I was very keen to get a player and very keen to get into the format, but I was always on the fence about it because the discs are quite expensive and the players are quite expensive, and just towards, Christmas last year, there was a price drop on some Sony players from Curry's PC World, so I thought, you know what, I'll go and buy one. Time is now. I'll treat myself. And in terms of buying movies, there was always a bit of hesitation because, I don't want to start rebuying everything that's on the shelf behind me. There's always going to be exceptions depending on if it's going to be a solid release or whether or not it's a film I truly love. And that was really the thing I sort of stuck with. If I'm going to commit to 4K, I'm going to get the movies that I truly love, and that's it. I'm not just going to get anything because, it looks good on the shelf or anything like that. These are 6 movies that I absolutely, truly love, and there's more on the shelf that I've bought as well, but I thought, let's just keep it to 6 because we want to keep this this video short and sweet. So this is just recommendations. So all of these films are from Studio Canal. They're a very good distributor at the moment, and so far all of the transfers that I've seen from Studio Canal have been really dope. They have been so good, and they have improved the films massively. In terms of all of the bonus features that are on a lot of these, a lot of them have previous features that were on previous releases, like, on the previous DVD and the previous Blu-ray, so I'm not really going to talk about that. It's just about, talking about films that I really love. So let's get right into it. So the first one is going to be the 1993 film Cliffhanger, starring Sylvester Stallone, one of my favourite action movies of all time. I remember when I first saw it back in 1993, or I think it was early 94 when it came out on home video, and it was one of the first 15 rated films I was allowed to watch, and I was just super impressed by the opening scene, and also with the plane scene as well, the hijacking plane scene at the start. And whacking in this 4K disc, it's the best it's ever looked. I've never seen the mountains and the landscapes look beautiful. They really do. And in terms of Stallone, I think this is probably one of his best movies, and John Lithgow is one of the best baddies of the 90s. Yeah, a truly great action film on a mountain. I know people like to call this Die Hard on a mountain, but for me it's just Cliffhanger. And it's beautifully directed by Renny Harlin. He's one of my favourite directors. And the sound score was very good. I mean, that's another thing to point out with all of these movies. They all sound amazing. Not just for picture quality, but for sound as well. But yeah, Cliffhanger is one that you should definitely get. And just before I go any further, I did buy a lot of these on offer from HMV. Like, you can get these for, they've got offers for 2 discs for 30 or 3 discs for 40. So, you don't have to spend too much on it. I know with brand new releases, they're quite expensive. They can be like, $21.99 or even $24.99, which is quite a lot for a disc. But, if you can get them on offer, then, why not? So yeah, Cliffhanger, definitely recommended. Now we've got a trilogy of movies here, and it's no surprise we've got First Blood from 1982, starring Sylvester Stallone. Probably the best Rambo film. I remember when I first saw this back in, I think it was around sort of 2000. I never saw the Rambo films when I was a kid. I just didn't have access to them. My brother never rented them from the video shop because I always depended on him to get the films. And I don't really remember seeing them on TV much either. And it wasn't until around, as I said, 2000 when I saw First Blood on Channel 5, and I was just blown away by how good it was. This is one of Stallone's best performances, and in terms of ranking the Rambo films, I would say First Blood is definitely the best. There are a lot of pros and cons with all of them, but, if you're going to rank the top one, it's always First Blood. And again, seeing the mountains, and seeing the forest scenes, it's the best it's ever looked. And it blew me away about how good this film really looks now. So yeah, First Blood, definitely worth getting. And as I just said, spoilers, we're going to do the whole Rambo trilogy here. So we got Rambo First Blood Part 2. This is a massive improvement over the previous DVD I had, because even though previously I felt DVDs were perfectly fine, there was something about First Blood Part 2 that just looked a bit off in terms of how it looked, particularly some of the river scenes with the boat. It looked a bit too hazy and a bit muddy. And thankfully this 4K has fixed all that, and once again, it's the best it's ever looked, and it's the best it's ever sounded. The action scenes are quite cheesy towards the end, but they are super exciting, and seeing Stallone fully ripped and fully shredded in his absolute prime from mid-1985, I think it was made? Yeah, 85. Yeah, same year as Rocky IV. And once again, highly recommended. If you love 80s action films, Rambo First Blood Part 2 has got to be in there. And then we'll follow that up with the third film, Rambo 3 from 1988. Another one that I was late to the party with. I didn't see this till around, I think when DVD came in, around sort of 2002. That's when I bought it originally. And once again, this is a massive improvement in terms of how it looks. The desert shots and the prison scene where he saves Troutman from the bad guys, you know, it looks absolutely superb. And the flying scenes with the helicopter, all the explosions look so pure and they look so rich. And seeing stuff blow up on 4K really looks good. You know, compared to a lot of the CGI explosions that we get now, you can't beat in-camera explosions. You know, it just looks so good. And from what I've seen, most of the bonus features have been retained on a lot of these, as well as some new stuff that's been created. There's been some new retrospectives with different interviews on here. But maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But as I said, this is just all about recommending what you should get. So yeah, Rambo 3 is up there. And we'll go with a Schwarzenegger film this time. And we've got Red Heat from 1988. Schwarzenegger and James Belushi. A good buddy cop film. A lot of arguing, a lot of bickering. A lot of good one-liners. And a lot of good action as well. And particularly the snow scenes at the start. You know, where Schwarzenegger's having that fight in the snow. It just looks so good. And you got all the Russian music there at the start. And yeah. Another great 80s film. Red Heat often gets forgotten about, I think. It's not usually high on most action film lists, but it's one, again, that I've appreciated the more I watch it. Because, again, it was another one that took me a while to see it. I think it was around sort of, mid-2000s I got the first DVD. And it's just grown on me all these years. And, it's just very enjoyable. And it's just nice to see Schwarzenegger doing, like, not his Austrian accent, but doing, like, the sort of Russian accent. And you got two very likeable leads in this one. So yeah, Red Heat is another one to highly recommend. And the final one, another favourite here, we got Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier from 1992, directed by Roland Emmerich. And again, this is an absolute massive improvement over the DVD. I've never seen the film look this good. You know I've repeated myself multiple times on here, but it's worth saying, seeing these films on 4K has really enhanced the films so much. To see them look as good as this, it's just a thrill for me as a collector and as a movie fan to see your films look and sound as good as they can be. It's what you want. It's what you crave. And I was truly happy with how Universal Soldier turned out. So yeah, those are the 6 films that I recommend. So yeah, just want to say thanks to all the positive comments for the previous video about Masters of the Universe, the 88 films release. The ratings that video got was just off the chart. I did not expect so many people to check it out. And all the comments were very encouraging and very nice. And it sort of inspired me to carry on. And sorry it's been a bit late, but it's been a bit tricky with work and stuff. And those aircraft keep flying over the house, which does affect the audio. And I'm going to do my best to keep this going and to make more videos. And let me know what you want to see. Do you want some more recommendations, or do you want more reviews of actual titles or something completely different? Let's start a conversation below and we'll take it from there. So yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And also feel free to follow me over on Instagram at RiderRated18. It's pretty much the same profile picture, except it's got underscores. So it's Rider_Rated_18 over on Instagram. So if you want to check out there, I'm always posting stuff. I'm always watching things. And if you want to be my friend over there, feel free to give me a follow over there as well. So for now, take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.